For thousands of years, people feared the jackal-headed god standing in the darkness of Egyptian tombs. But Anubis was never the monster waiting in the dark. His story was older, deeper, and sacred. From stone, the guardian awakens, not to bring death, but to stand beside it. To understand Anubis, we must enter a world where death was not an ending, but a journey. Before a soul could reach eternity, it had to pass through silence, darkness, and judgment. At that doorway stood Anubis, guardian of tombs, protector of bodies, and guide of the dead. He was not a demon of destruction. He was a god of protection, ritual, and sacred order. His jackal head began with the desert, where real jackals moved silently near graves. To ancient eyes, the jackal was frightening. But Egypt transformed that fear into protection. Over time, the jackal became more than an animal. It became the sacred face carved on tombs. From carvings and statues, Anubis became the living watcher at the edge between desert and death. For the Egyptians, the body was not an empty shell. It was the anchor of the soul. To thieves, he was a warning. To the dead, he was the last protection they would receive. Anubis guarded not only bones and gold, but memory, name, and the hope of eternity. That is why mummification mattered. The dead were prepared and protected for the road ahead.
Vessel with your wings. Osiris received the Ka in the field of reeds.
In sacred rituals, a priest wore the face of Anubis to serve as his hands on earth. Oils, linen, prayers, and sealed jars were not decoration. They were tools for eternity. Anubis guarded the body because the soul still had a dangerous journey through the unseen world. When breath was gone, the story was not finished. Something still had to rise and move forward. Anubis did not hunt the dead. He guided them through darkness so they would not be lost. He was feared because he stood near death, but trusted because he gave death order. In earlier traditions, Anubis held a central place among the dead, before Osiris rose higher. As Osiris became lord of the underworld, Anubis did not disappear from the sacred story. He remained the guardian of the passage, the one who prepared, guided, and protected the dead. The journey led into the Duat, the hidden realm where every soul would face the truth. In the Hall of Judgment, death became something more terrifying than darkness, a question. The soul stood before the scales, carrying every choice, every lie, and every hidden weight. On one side lay the heart, glowing with the truth a person had carried through life. Then the feather of Ma'at descended opposite the heart, bringing balance, justice, and cosmic order. Anubis watched in silence. He did not rage, he measured what the heart revealed. Beside him, Thoth recorded the result, because even the afterlife needed memory and law. And in the shadows waited Amit, the consequence for souls that failed the balance. For one breathless moment, eternity depended on whether the heart was lighter than the feather. If the heart balanced, the soul could pass toward peace, rebirth, and the field of reeds. But if the heart was heavy with falsehood, the soul did not live forever. It disappeared. This was not cruelty. It was order, the belief that every soul must answer for itself. That is why Anubis was misunderstood. He stood near fear, but he was not the fear. He gave shape to the unknown, rules to the darkness, and a guide beyond life. Anubis endures because humanity still fears death, and still hopes something waits beyond it. When the soul passed on, the guardian returned to silence, waiting for the next traveler. He was not death. He was the silence beside it, steady, watchful, and eternal. Anubis waits at the edge of eternity, not to destroy the dead, but to guide them home.